5, Heroes of the Storm, Part 2, 1 match, 5 versus 5. Prize money, first prize, €4,000. Second prize, €750. Third prize, €250. Additional bonus for first pentakill, €100.
The Netherlands versus Germany. Historically speaking, it's an interesting matchup in all kinds of ways. Sports, eSports, other stuff I won't mention right now. But I'm pretty sure the shoutcasters will talk us through it a little bit more. The history of the Netherlands versus Germany when it comes to eSports. Don't worry, don't worry. But first, I'd like to have back on this stage the Dutchies. Another big round of applause for MCon eSports, please.
Yeah, first of all, I want to take the word. You know, esports is emotion, and what I just said about lags and all that stuff, I was just a sore loser. So I want to rectify that. They really deserve the win, last man standing. So good luck to them.
Fortunately, there's still some true sportsmanship inside you. That's good to hear. Even though it might have been a bit laggy and stuff like that, but I mean, you took it like a man right now. So that's a good thing. Let's see if you'll take it like a man after you get your ass kicked by this team that's coming up right now. These guys are, I mean, top 10 in the world. Top 3 in the world even. Wow. And they're here tonight at the Black Label Esports Masters. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, would you be so kind to clap your hands together for Team Roccat? Well, we heard it. Top 3 in the world. Is that true?
Maybe, kinda.
Maybe, kinda. What's that? Are you or aren't you?
It's hard to say in Heroes of the Storm. There weren't too many tournaments right now, but last week we were in Prague and we finished top 4 in the European regional finals. Sadly, that's not BlizzCon because only the top 2 goes, but yeah, that's how it goes in esports.
So you were really close to getting to the BlizzCon, right?
Only one set away.
One set.
Yeah.
We probably had not a good night's sleep that night.
Well, we went out all night, so we didn't sleep. That's true.
Prague is a great city, right?
Yeah.
You tracked this as well.
Yes, of course.
And you might have some. At the end of this night, you might have a little spending money. I saw what, €4,000?
Yeah, first place gets 4K.
That's what I'm saying. That's a great weekend. That's a long weekend here in the Netherlands. You planning on staying here for a couple of more days, or are you going back to Germany?
We will stay here one night. I mean, today we arrived and we will sleep one night. So let's see how the tournament goes. We will probably go out.
So if there are any ladies over here, you know, this is the guy with the 4K, probably at the.
I don't know.
We know for sure. It's esports, you know, so anything can happen. But it's a safe bet to say that you guys are the favorites.
I would say so, yes.
Have you guys played against them before?
I don't.
Do you even care?
I know them and I do care, yes, but I can't remember if I played against them in Heroes of the Storm.
Well, let's see how it goes down in this matchup. You can take a seat, sir. Good luck, and the same goes for you. And let's get back to our shoutcasters of the evening.
Hi, Loco. How are you doing, man? That was an awesome game one we had so far. What do you think game 2 is going to be like?
I think game 2 is going to be a little more interesting. Obviously, game 1 was very conservative in general. We had Team Mouse Control go up against Last Man Standing. Last Man Standing did end up taking that victory right there.
I absolutely loved watching that match because it was back and forth. You know, we had the advantage going to one team and then back to the other team. And in the end, we had the underdogs kind of winning it. And I just love to see a good underdog story winning.
Well, talking about the underdogs, like we already saw right there by Skate, it's a pretty big underdog right now. As pointed out, Roccat is one of the very best teams in the world at this point in time.
Can't argue with that.
Yeah, they're absolutely incredible. They've been dominating the European scene for probably about a year right now. I mean, even in the beta, they were already around practicing, playing full time, and actually, just basically been always at the top of their game. Obviously, at first, we mostly had European matches going on for at least a pretty long time, and they were at the very best right there. So the drafts of the games have already happened. I am not actually sure. We aren't sure of what exactly they did decide to pick. So it may very well be a little bit more surprising. I did get the chance to talk to the guys over at Roccat, and they are not taking this as a joke. They are taking it seriously. They do want to take the victory. They're not completely sure how strong mouse control and whatnot are. So they're going to try their very best. Yeah, so we see 4-team Roccat, the blue team on the left of the screen. We see Artis, Kiltas, Malfurion, Abathur, and Muradin. Extremely well-rounded team right there. A lot of damage potential out of Kiltas, especially past level 13, at which point he unlocks his chain bomb. On the other hand, we have Johanna Nazibo, Tyrande, Leoric, and Brightwing. So a little bit of an unorthodox healer actually on Brightwing, but she does have a lot of mobility. So that means early on she'll likely go to the bottom lane because the top shrine and the middle shrine are the ones that activate first.
All right, here we go. This match has started. We are still waiting another 20 seconds until the gates will open and the minions will spawn. That's right. This map, this game actually has gates, which prevents the heroes from leaving. So you can't, just take off at the start of the game and start slapping each other in the jungle because, well, there is kind of a jungle in this game, but not the jungle as we're used to. That's one of the big difference here between this game and the general MOBA like League of Legends.
We see no GLHF right here from the Roccat players. They have no interest in this. They are just willing to go straight at it right here. So I think we do see that Brightwing in the bottom lane.
Here we go. The Owl spots the blue team at the top near the watchtower. Not a lot of fighting going on yet, and nice positioning so far. Both players spreading their lanes out.
Yep.
Actually, have a rotation towards the middle by the Arthas. He's actually going to go all the way to bot. I don't think. Do you think his opponent spotted him? I'm not sure.
Well, it doesn't really matter all too much right now. They're just testing the waters. I wouldn't be surprised if we see the red team on the right, mouse control, play extremely conservative like they did in game number 1. Obviously, they know they are the underdogs. Roccat is one of the superior teams in the European scene right now, and actually in the world scene, they're one of the very best. So they'll likely play as defensive as they possibly can. Currently, we see 3 heroes in the top lane, and meanwhile, we have 2 in the bottom. Obviously, Abathur can symbiote anyone at any given time, so he can actually capture experience wherever it's necessary.
Yeah, he's a great support in that way, and he actually affects the battlefield by not participating directly in the fights. He buffs his allies, he hurts his opponents, and he spawns a lot of creatures that don't live for very long, but can have a big impact on the fight.
Yeah, so a bit of a skirmish going on in the top side of the map right now. They're trying to push forward, and as I mentioned, the middle and the top temples are activated at the same time. The second wave is always going to be the bottom one, and after that it gets a little more random. But at some point we do have the options to see the 3 temples activate at the exact same time. Now, like I mentioned, they need to basically stand in a little circle, at which point the temples will elevate them in the rings.
There we go. The middle and the top temple have activated. The heroes at the bottom of the map have not yet rotated. I'm not sure what's going on there.
Brightwing will likely fly over. She can teleport to any given hero if she wants to.
Oh, that's such a strong ability on a map like this where positioning is just incredibly crucial. Looks like the blue team is going to be the first one here, Team Roccat, to trying to contest one of these and starts fighting these neutral minions that they will have to kill in order to take control of the temple.
Yeah, and keep in mind, Abathur can switch constantly. He can actually decide where he wants to go in. Oh, nice little move right there. Malfurion extremely low.
Oh, he just barely gets away. Now, but 3 of the teams of mouse control are actually rooted, but they do manage to slip away, trying to do a bit of damage. And this fight has stabilized, but that was actually really close there for Team Roccat.
Yeah, both teams actually decided to leave the middle lane alone. We see Leoric cycle down once again, and Muradin is going to join them, try and contest that to the best of their abilities. But good moving so far by the red team, actually, obviously being the underdogs. Yeah. They're doing extremely well, but Leoric needs to be careful. He won't be able to take that fight very easily at all. First it's a Kiltas and the Stormbolt.
Oh, but did he die to the neutral minion? I'm not sure.
It doesn't really matter all too much. The experience is going to go into the favor of the blue team.
All right, so first blood goes for them. We did have a nice bit of siege damage. You can see on the minimap the shots being fired literally from the temples towards the, towards the
Tyrande needs to be careful. She does manage to heal herself up just barely right there. The Living Bomb doing a lot of damage, but it looks like Chris on the Kiltas has to be careful. Obviously a very low HP hero.
Yeah. His team heroes were actually not backing him up all that much. They might have been able to capture him.
Beautiful moves though by the Abathur player. He's actually soaking in the bottom lane right here while he's aiding out his team, and that is why they are currently having about a half level of an advantage right there. Once again getting that gravity lapse, and he does manage to once again take out Leoric.
Oh, here we go. Merlin jumps out, doesn't want to get focused here. And we have Killfist now at the front. I'm not sure if that's the position he wants to be in. Might even, yeah, he just moves out of his way, and the Arctis also just managed to get out of his way. So now the red team is actually taking control of the central temple and is now damaging this tower, as you can see.
Yeah, and this is the reason why they picked the Abathur. Even though they didn't get the greatest of greatest temple traits, they're okay with that. They got Kiltas on their team. Kiltas past level 13 becomes insanely good. And now that the shrines, or the temples rather, have deactivated, Abathur is just going to sit behind the gate once again. And they have about a good half-level advantage. This means that they will hit level 7 before the opposing team. But most importantly, they will likely carry this advantage towards level 10, at which point the ultimates do become available.
Yeah, the amount of soaking he's done in the middle, in the bottom lane is very significant. And of course, he keeps pushing out that lane as well by spawning his Locust, which do range damage. And they just push the wave a little bit harder. And yeah, it's just overall a very good support hero, even though he seems to be very passive in his play.
So on this specific map, there is also 2 minutes in between each of the temples activating. So the next one is guaranteed to be the bottom lane. So we'll likely see both of the teams start to go over there in about a minute or so.
Yeah, right now we see both teams mostly focusing on getting a couple siege camps, getting a bit of mercenaries on their side that will fight for them, push the lanes even further, but also getting them a lot of XP, which will give them a bigger advantage in this fight. Right now we don't see a lot of, actually all of blue team has gathered our top safety after and is now pushing down this fort quite heavily.
Yeah, they're just trying to do as much damage as they possibly can. Killing 2 towers obviously gives you a nice little lead and experience. And even though they lose one of the lanes right now in the middle and a little bit of experience right there, the Bruiser Camp is helping them out a ton. Once again, Johanna taking a little bit too much damage right there. She does walk away to not do any additional damage with that living bomb.
Yeah, I feel Team Mouse Control is actually doing this dealing with this relatively well. They have their own Bruiser Camp, which of course tanks a lot of damage, and the counter push of this was more than sufficient. And now they are pushing the top lane actually on their own. Hold that thought though. There's a couple of red heroes rotating to the middle.
Yeah, the bottom temple is now activated. It will be going up in about 3 seconds from now, or exactly 3 seconds from now. Leoric still trying to get that camp. He's been busy and working on that for quite some time right now, but the bottom one is activated. But it looks like Team Roccat has decided to just give that one up completely and instead push the top lane. Try and get as much experience, try and force that level 10 out faster than their opponents can, and probably follow it up with a team fight.
Such a great strategic choice here by Team Roccat to force their opponent's hands and take matter into their own hands. Of course, Team MCon is very happy with the bottom shrine.
Oh no, Hasselhoff has to be careful. Abathur extremely flimsy, but he does manage to get out.
Yeah, and the Spirit walk away from the red hero at the bottom and leaves him quite safe. It seems that Roccat has actually changed their mind. It will now be rotating towards the middle. It might actually catch out this the Zebo. No, he spots it in time.
I'm actually really impressed so far by Team Mouse Control.
Yes.
I mean, Roccat obviously, they're the top of the line. They're the best of the best pretty much the world has to offer right now. And Mouse Control is actually holding their own.
Yeah,
they're both level 10 right now. They both have their heroic abilities.
Oh, they're setting up for a big engagement here. Here comes the ults.
Well, we do see the Tranquility being popped right there on the Malfurion, trying to do as much healing as possible. Avatar being used right now as well, and we see the March of the Black King dealing a ton of damage.
Such a huge fight here, and Mouse Control seems to be pushing Roccat back, but the question is, do they have to sustain stick in this fight? The ARF is dropping really lower for Roccat, and they are forced out.
The Leoric, no, he does end up falling right there because Muradin decided to go all the way over there, saving that Dwarf Toss, and just picking up 1 hero right now. So they've managed to kill only 3 heroes so far. 0 of them have gone down, but all in all, this is looking very, very even.
Yeah, it's really not looking that bad considering 3 kills really isn't that much at this stage of the game, and they are not getting picked off or anything or being forced out of position. This is just straight up team fighting, and of course they are being slightly outplayed in that scenario, but really they do have decent map control at this point, really making use of the owl to gain a lot of map vision and see where their opponents are.
Definitely. So once again, we see that push at the top lane right now with the Brightwing. Brightwing has an ability that basically allows her to switch constantly, and she's soaking a lot of experience. She can go ahead and join the team fight at any given moment, and it looks like she may very well need to.
Which, here comes the push here at the bottom. Bunch of siege minions go in.
Tyrande actually does get Howling Blasted right there and immediately falls off.
Wow, that was such a that was definitely something position you don't want to be in as a Tyrande, as a squishy support, because you could just get destroyed.
Yeah, and Brightwing actually still in the top lane trying to make up with that experience loss right now, but it looks like the blue team Roccat will be able to start pushing forward right now. Will probably likely be able to kill this fort and maybe even a tower, at which point they will be very close to level 13. They will unlock another talent right before the next temples.
Yeah, they're definitely now putting a lot of pressure onto Team MCon. They have a temple which you can pretty much capture for free at the bottom right now if they so wish.
Abathur just barely managed to tunnel out of trouble right there. He did get caught or found in the top lane. But it looks like they have accepted the fact that they have only gotten the bottom lane for now. And they're gonna instead, just give up the top or the top lane instead and, just keep going with this advantage that they've already got. No need to risk it.
Yeah, there's, playing safe, even with lineups like these, is really never a bad idea. And at this point, Roccat has enough of an advantage. That if
nice gravity lap right there on the Zebo. Extremely flimsy. He doesn't have his ice block yet.
Oh, but
he does end up falling. Wow, and
that's a free kill.
So that is what we were talking about right there. Brightwing does decide to teleport in, try and save her teammate, try and use the flash heal that she does have, but it is not going to be enough, and she ends up paying the price.
Oh, that's really not a smart move. He gets Jane stunned almost immediately. Tirana now also moving in quite close. Manages to heal him back up though. But right now the situation for Team Mouse Control has turned for the worst. And
Johanna has to be careful right there. She does activate her ability just barely in time, missing that Stormbolt. However, the blessed shield going down. We see as many stuns as possible. And she also ends up falling.
Great coordination there by Team Roccat, following up all the chain stuns, making sure she cannot escape from that great gank. And right now the situation for Team Mouse Control has really turned for the worst. They are getting picked off on site. They have lost all of their exterior defenses and are now pretty much forced to stay back at their core and try to claim the map, but without a lot of safe space.
Sports Billy has to be very careful right there on the Artist. He does manage to pick up one of the camps on the opposing side of the map. Very annoying.
Yeah.
Obviously that also means that the other team cannot capture this for another couple of minutes right now. And they're just going to build on this advantage. That's really what they're trying to do. They're not going to take a risk. They don't really need to. They know that if they manage to get to the late game, they will likely be the better team fighters. And that's exactly what they're banking on.
Level 16 is almost just around the corner as well for Team Roccat. So I really feel that they're just going to plan a big timing push. Once they finish that, clear up a couple of these bruiser creeps. Level 16 just around the corner. And they should be able to gather up and go for a big team fight.
Exactly. So at this point in time, we do have the potential for 3 temples activating at the same time. Most of the time it is actually only 2 at this point, but a little bit later, probably the next wave, we will see 3 of them activate. It's a little more randomized.
Oh, she gets slowed, but there's no follow-up here from the blue team. They've managed to reach level 16 at this point, and are gathering up for what looks to be a bit of a middle push. No camp spawning yet, so they will have to pretty much do this.
They may even be going for the boss right now. The boss is in the bottom lane of the map. They have to be very, very careful with that. Obviously, if that gets stolen or picked off, they're actually scouting for it right now. They're not going to risk it.
Nice owl. Spots it again and should see the creeps again that have been captured.
So the bottom temple. This temple is huge. Once this temple is done, the winning team of whatever team fights will likely also be able to capture the boss. And the boss is basically a big mercenary that will join one of the lanes. And it looks like Sports Billy is already waiting right there. He's obviously sitting there together with Sokka, trying to, just wait it out for the time being. And actually, Brightwing going to the top lane first off, but I think they do need to contest this temple in the bottom lane. They cannot really let it go to waste.
Of course, Brightwing's mobility allows her to do stuff like that. But at the same time, Team Roccat, they really know what they want to do.
They're giving it up.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that is actually kind of a big deal right now. They're going to defend the middle lane instead. Obviously, the towers will be kind of important.
They see it with the owl. They should know 3 people are incoming. Murden's not there, so there's no fight possible yet. But he is joining. No, Murden's actually staying at the bottom.
He's got to back down right now to the temple because they know they will be able to push it back. Even with 1 fewer hero, they will still be just fine. And meanwhile, the Bruiser camp is starting to join the bottom lane as well.
Joanna's taking so much more damage here than necessary. Roccat is almost seeming scared in this. Yeah, okay, there. Of course, now he's gone, but. They were really scared and taking a lot more unnecessary damage.
The evolution right there, So meanwhile, the keep is being fired at by the temple, and this keep is gonna end up falling. Just like in League of Legends and Dota, this keep will ensure that there will be catapults joining in the lane, making the push much more powerful.
Yes, and this also forces the hand of Team Roccat, who are actually being being caught out in the middle of the
has to be so careful. She does get Living Bomb right there, but barely manages to survive.
Very good escape there, though, from Team Mouse Control. They could have gone a lot worse, but right now they are pretty much just forced to defending their core. I'm not sure where Tyranda's going. She's kind of out there a lot on the map. Is she going to solo a camp?
Nah, she's likely going to stand in the bush and back right now. That's likely going to be her option.
Yeah, just Hearthstone out indeed. Alright, so Team Mouse Control getting a bit of a breather here, being able to scout out their opponent, try to get some sort of defense plan going. But it's really not looking all that good for for them. And Team Roccat, they should be going for the boss, I feel, just to try to finish this off.
I actually really like the way Team Roccat is playing this, though. They're not taking any unnecessary risk. Yes, they could try and take the boss camp, and they might be able to do it. But if it gets stolen, if they manage to die right there and get the boss stolen, that would be a massive loss. And the only way, really, that the opposing team could come back, unless they make a massive fight or a massive mistake in a team fight a little later on. So I actually really love the way they're playing this so super defensive and trying to just stabilize.
Yeah, you're right. They don't have a lot, to throw. They shouldn't be throwing away their chances.
Though.
They're scouting it out though all the time, which is quite interesting. But yeah, Team Roccat seems to be playing it slow at this stage. Just kind of trying to maybe force their opponent to make some mistakes and try to pick off someone. Joanna now kind of going alone into enemy fire here with the kill task.
Almost getting that gravity lapse on her right there. Obviously it wouldn't do too much, but it was kind of funny to see that one scout out right now. So we do see 2 temples activate, the one in the top and the one in the middle.
And Team MCon already has control of the middle, so they probably won't...
Oh, they're standing in the bush. They're trying to set up a trap right now.
Uh-oh, it's a trap.
It's a trap.
Yeah, they're going to be going for this, and this is probably their best shot that they have right now. Arfis seems to be a bit isolated here. Can they go on him? No, they don't want to, and they get spotted in the bush actually, and Roccat immediately pulls back and reassembles. Arfis gets stunned though, and they might go in on this.
Oh, nice wall of zombies right there, trapping a whole bunch of the heroes. We see the avatar being activated right now as well, the Phoenix raining damage down as well, but so far no one is taking critical damage yet.
Oh, it seems this minion here from Nazeebo is tanking a lot of the hits, even body blocking. The Arfis doing a very good job at that.
Oh, we see the Howling Blast, but just barely missing.
Oh, man.
Oh, also missing the Stormbolt right there. Sadly not getting any of their lockdowns. They likely would have been able to pick up one of the heroes, but in the meantime, they have activated the shrine in the middle.
Indeed, and now more damage is being rained down on Team MCon's base, who is doing their best there to hold on. They managed to get away from that very sticky situation there, and might now be trying to go for another team fight here in order to take control of this middle shrine.
Yeah, once again, Roccat playing very cautious. They know they still have the tempo in the top as well. They likely want to try and hit level 20 first. Level 20 will give them a nice damage spike once again. They know that they're at the same talent tier right now, and if Mouse Control wants to take a team fight, this is basically their best option.
They're just going to take the top actually, top temple, and at the same time they have a bruiser camp in the top, which is actually pushing onto the store. But here comes Team MCon.
Yeah, they're just trying to buy time. They want to hit level 20. They don't want to fight right now. They don't want to fight at an even talent tier. Beautiful stun right there by the Tyrande player, and actually Muradin getting nuked out just barely, but he does manage to dwarf. It's also right over there, and they're just disengaging. They don't want to fight.
Great coordination there.
Oh, here we go.
By Team Roccat actually disengaging it. Now they have their ult, and now they're going to turn and tight and say like, hey, you want to fight? Let's do it.
Going down right there on the Tyrande player, getting a ton of damage done. However, the Gargantuan also doing a lot. We see Johanna barely managing to get out of there right there.
Still great coordination there by Team Roccat. However, one of their... Yeah, okay, you just managed to get out just in time. No deaths, but now they have to be careful that they are not stunned on their way back.
Oh, beautiful wall of
that
zombies
zombie wall
once
is
again.
just amazing.
You see the Muradin once again using that
the Nazeebo. He's in trouble. Here again, once a dwarf. Oh man, what happens when a big icy dwarf lands on you? You go bam!
And at the same moment, we also did see Leoric falling right there. And actually, the Brightwing player will also have to pay with her life.
And at this stage, it's really going to go fast. They're probably going to catch another temple or two, or they will just 5-man up, grab a bruiser camp, and push the top lane.
The top temple has actually not been captured yet. They are on purpose not finishing that one off right now. They're trying to instead go for the middle lane and just hit the core.
Yeah, I think the reason they can just finish this off. However, the Team MCon's heroes are actually responding quite quickly. Can they finish the core off in time?
They're gonna go for it. They have fully committed right now. Leoric is gonna be respawning. Obviously, the core does have a shield. The shield is dissipated. 70% right now on the core. Trying to do as much damage to it as possible. And I think Roccat just simply has a little bit too much health right now in order,
Team MCon, they cannot stop it. They will unfortunately lose this. And there we go. GG will play. Team Roccat, in convincing fashion, wins this match against the Dutch team MCon eSports.
Yeah, I think MCon did the best they could right there, though. They played extremely well. You see high fives all around right now on Team Roccat, being very happy with that win. They may have actually imagined that it wouldn't be that difficult, but they, they were actually pretty much even for the early part of the game. In the mid game, though, and the late game, we did definitely see Roccat take that advantage.
Thank you, guys. I'll see you later for the third and final match later on. You did pretty okay, but but it was quite obvious they were a little bit too good for you guys.
We had insane lag. No, of course.
Shut the fuck!
They just outplayed us, definitely. They were much better than us. I mean, can't do anything.
No, it was quite obvious indeed. From the start, actually, there was a big advantage for you guys.
Yes, I think our draft was better than theirs. With Tyrande and Nazeebo, they just don't have enough damage to kill us fast enough, I think. Even though, like, we had Abatur, they had Brightwing, so we both have this split on the map to soak, but I think Abatur is a little bit better than Brightwing. And yeah, I don't know, we just snowballed through the game. Like, we got 16 earlier, and in the end we got 20 much earlier than them, so we were just able to finish the game by going for core.
Let's just look back at this moment right here. I think it was 20-18 or something like that. Just showing your dominance at that part of the game.
Yeah, exactly when we got 20, we were shouting to go in. So Muradin goes ham, he kills Nazeebo. We also catch Brightwing almost. Leoric is already dead.
You even got a BAM for that.
Oh yeah, beautiful jump. And yeah, KT catches Brightwing on the way out, and now 3 people are dead and we are 2 levels ahead. So at this point, the call is pretty easy. We go for core, and it's almost impossible for them to defend it.
Well, we see you guys later at the third and final match of Heroes of the Storm. It's actually your final, since the guys from Belgium won and you guys won your match. Unfortunately, you lost, so it'll be third place for you guys. But hopefully next time it'll go much better. Give a round of applause for the guys from MCon, please.